What's going on, everybody? This is Kenyon Hackworth from Healthy You, Wealthy You, where my focus is on improving health and building generational wealth. Hey, now listen, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about when to sell a stock. Now, ideally, the best stock to buy is one that you never have to sell. In fact, that is ultimately the kind of company you should look to invest in, buying a stock that you can own for the rest of your life and that you can pass down to your family for generations. Now, so when do you sell a stock? Philip Fisher wrote a book in 1958 called Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits. And this is one of the books that Warren Buffett said had one of the biggest influences on changing his investing style from buying low quality companies because they were undervalued into buying high quality businesses that he can own for a long time. So he said in this book, he said there are three reasons. In fact, one thing he said is that if the job has been correctly done when a common stock is purchased, the time to sell it is almost never. Almost never. You can own a great stock for forever. Now, he said there are three reasons and three reasons only for the sale of a common stock. Number one is if you realize a mistake has been made during your purchase. And after really analyzing the company or analyzing it more, because you should have analyzed it in great detail in the first place, but you realize that by a wide margin, the company that you invested in is not the company you anticipated. And you realize that it was a mistake to purchase that company in the first place. If you do so, then you should sell it and get rid of it and move on. Now, the one thing that happens to most of us is the ego kicks in. We said we made this purchase and we become attached to it. But a stock does not know you own it. So there's no reason to get attached to a bad company. Ideally, you want to invest in the good companies. So if you realize you made a mistake, the number one thing to do is ask yourself what the mistake was. Why did I make this mistake in investing? You analyze it and then you figure out what the problem was, what mistake you made, so you do not repeat that mistake in the future. And once you become a better investor, number one never really happens that much anymore. The second reason to sell a stock is if the fundamentals of the business has changed in some way. It can be due to the passage of time where a company loses its competitive advantage, because you want to have companies that have a durable competitive advantage where it is hard for other companies to come in and take their customers, to take their space, or to really invade upon their territory. So you want to find companies that have a good competitive advantage. If the fundamentals of that company changes, it can be due to management also, or the company can start taking on a lot of debt through mergers and acquisitions, and they just have cash that they're not using properly, and they create so much debt. They don't have the same return on equity. The company is not growing the way it was once growing because of technological changes. These things can happen. Either way, when the fundamentals of the company changes, then it's probably a good time to exit that position. And the third one is the one where if you find something that you like tremendously better and you do not have cash, you can sell a current position to buy a new company. Now, the question is, do you really truly believe that new company that you're looking at is going to be far greater than the one you already own? Because if you do your due diligence properly and you invest in really good, high quality businesses, the third one doesn't really happen as much. The first one you could eliminate, and the second one, whereas the fundamentals changes, that tends to happen less. So you can buy companies that you can own for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, and just allow time plus the power of compounding to truly be the magical potion, if you will, to build your wealth. So you don't have to trade in and out of stocks, and you don't have to become a day trader or futures, options, guessing, trading, and buy stocks on margin and short selling and trading options. You don't have to do any of that if you own a group of really good, high quality businesses. So look for those businesses, invest in those, and 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, you will look back and you will thank yourself for making these decisions. Your family will thank you. All right? So, number one, 3 reasons to sell. Number one, if you made a mistake. Number 2, the fundamentals of the business changes. And number 3, if you're short on cash and you find something that is immensely better and you've done your due diligence, then you can sell to fund the purchase. Other than that, don't be selling in and out of stocks. Find good, high quality businesses and stick with them and ride with them for the long term. Through the ups and downs, through all the volatility, through all these things that are going on with the stock market, don't worry about what's going on in the stock market. If you have a high quality business, you own that business, you can ride it through the ebbs and flows of what's going on in the stock market. And over time, a truly great business will build your wealth. All right, take care. I will talk to you soon. Keep investing. Invest consistently.